Yo, Eric, we're over here on the paranormal hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. What is this going on? My God.
Oh boy, it's a Monday. Monday. But guys, let me get something off my chest for a second. Get this off my chest so I can feel so great and positive with energy. You know, sometimes I watch the news to get the weather report. I want to see what's the weather going to be like this week. And my God, I got to tell you something. You know, you watch YouTube channels, you watch a lot of channels. There's a lot of channels that hate on other channels. They just do. They make their whole thing to hate on other channels. You know, some people tell me, "Hey, look at this. Look what this guy's saying about this." You know, and then you sit there and you ask yourself, why are we living in that kind of a culture? But then you watch the fucking news, right? The news. Here's these commercials. Here's these political ads, and they don't talk about what they're going to do for you. It's all about, this group is going to take away your rights. And now it's like, instead of like this group belongs to a party, they are on the right in this group. They're on far left of this group. It's like nobody. I wish if some commercial comes out and say, guys, if I could represent you guys, the ones who putting me here to honor you guys, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to try to better ourselves. Instead, it's all about how evil the other person is. This group get a blank check. They just want a blank check, do whatever they want. This group wants to take away your Social Security. I mean, there's so much hate. And you wonder why the culture of these channels are the way they are, because that's the culture you get from the groups that you think that you're representing us. Like you look at the president as supposed to be a stand-up guy, the governor, stand-up people, senators, stand up because they're representing us. But all they do is fight and scream, and they sell anger and hate. Well, they're evil. Now, we might be evil too, but we're less evil than that evil. So if you want the more evil, go for them. But you want the less evil, go for us. And you wonder why these channels are the way they are, because it's just the culture that we live in. And every time I tell somebody, you know how you try to fix it? You know, vote for independence. People don't belong to a party they really represent. Yeah, but if I do, that group's going to win. Well, with that kind of mentality, then nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's ever going to change. Hate, I hate to say it, hate sells.
Sure does.
Gets you clicks. And now, somewhat, you feel like you got to defend yourself, and for rightful ways, because people would say about you is just, I hate seeing that kind of culture, and I wish. I just
call that cancel culture, Eric.
It's the cancel culture. It really is. It's and it starts with the highest governments all the way down. They always say,
you know what happened to me yesterday, Eric? I get a ring at my doorbell. I get this lady comes to my house with a clipboard. First, she asked me if I'm Republican or Democrat. Then she asked me if I'm voting for this person or that person. And then she asked me, well, if you are a Republican or you are a Democrat, why wouldn't you vote for this or that? So I just shut her right up with saying, you know, it's against the law to come ring my doorbell and ask me A or B if I'm a Republican or Democrat. And it's also against the law to ask me who I'm voting for. Like, who sent you here? They're actually going door to door asking people these questions.
Don't ask. Sell me why I should vote for you. What are you going to do?
I can't believe it.
For me. It's so simple. I know it shouldn't matter what party you belong to. I'm an independent.
You said it,
I'm
Eric.
a proud independent, and I'll vote for whoever I think is a better person.
But
But Anthony, the thing is, I don't even know who's the better person anymore, because nobody
I give up. I'm not even
what they do anymore.
I'm not even voting anymore.
I don't ask you.
I give up,
I don't ask you or Brown George to come on the channel, because you guys are the experts in the fields. You guys got honesty. You guys got character. You guys are wonderful people.
Thank you. That's what you look for.
That's what I look for, and that's what I want. Sorry, people, to bring that up, but just sometimes you watch this stuff and you're like, it's never going to change.
The world has gone crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
It has gone crazy.
Eric is very upset.
It's gone crazy. But today, guys, I got an article. We all know different websites, different articles have different top 10s. Everybody has their own top 10. But we're going to go off of what this website's top 10, and it's called Aliens Among Us. Top 10 spots around the world for close encounters with the UFO. And then I'm going to show you some awesome pictures that was sent to me by Brown Dwarf himself, and I will have him explain Justin, Eric for President. You know, guys did know 2 years ago I did a lot of shows that I actually physically signed up as a candidate for president. People I didn't have a million signatures where I could have my name on the ballot, but technically I was in the system to be president. People
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Well, you really
was.
Can I be vice president?
If you go to my earliest videos, one of the videos was a political video that I showed people an application I filled out to run for president, stamp, envelope in the mail.
I love it.
So,
hey, let's run together, Eric. I'll run with you. I'll be the VP. I'll run with you. Let's do it.
I'll be doing that again. So I actually technically did ran, but I think
that's great. I love
like
this.
3-4 people voted for me because
that's all right.
Because thing is, it's stupid, right? You can fill out the application to run, but unless you get 1 million signatures, your name cannot go on the ballot itself. Your vote can count for you. Somebody writes it in. But we all know we live in the world. If your name's not in there in writing, nobody's gonna write your name in.
I wonder if we can get that done today. If you and I ran together, you as president, me as vice president, if we can get 1 million signatures, I bet we could. You know, because I won't stop till we got them. Believe me when I tell you.
Doing in a timely manner 2 years before to try to get it by that deadline. Yeah, we should look into it.
We should definitely do that. We know we're never going to make it, but just to do it, just to see if we can get it that far.
Hey, we all wish, craziest things happen, but
I'm so down, bro.
I don't know. It's just sad that we live in that culture that people have to vote for a party. Well, that party's more evil. So you got to vote for the better person. If you decide that you don't want to vote for anybody on that ballot, that's fine. You don't have to. Now, there's other things on ballots that you can vote on, like the props 81 or 6. You don't necessarily have to vote on every single square there is. It's always funny to see the ones like judge, and the only person running is that one judge. Like, oh, okay, that person won.
Just if we ran, Eric, right? All we would have to do is promise that 2 things. We're gonna give everybody the truth about UFOs and aliens, right? And we're gonna give species protection for Bigfoot. We run on that platform. We're in, bro. We're in. It's done. We're in. Right down to it. We're in. That's it.
There's that train of thought of people can't handle the truth. There is that train of thought out there. Well, the people aren't ready to know that UFOs 100% do exist. You don't know that unless you do it. If you just come out, yes, there probably will be some chaos. People think the end of the world is here, whatever. But you got to start. The truth will set you free. Agreed. Even though you might go through garbage to finally get to the point. But if you can't trust the people to believe in the truth, then why the hell we're here? I'm just saying.
The world's already chaos, so
you got to fight chaos with chaos, man.
It is. I hate seeing that we still have walls, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't even have walls. How are we ever going to become one people in the world? We're still talking about having walls with countries. Why can't we just be friends and shake hands and open everything up? Yeah, you might have garbage. You're not garbage, but I mean, you might. It doesn't matter. To fix it, you got to break down the walls. Just do it, God. Didn't Ronald Reagan say, Kovacic,
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Yep. Yep.
Let's tear down all walls.
I agree, brother.
Then the healing might be able to start. I don't know. I guess that's
That's why I
common
love
sense.
this guy, Brown Dwarf. You see what I mean? That's why I love this guy.
All right.
And for president.
I'm
Eric for Paranormal Highway for president, ladies and
damn
gentlemen.
straight. The first thing I would do is let everybody know the truth, and we'll go from there.
That's it.
Okay. Now, according to this list, number 10 on this list is the Bermuda Triangle, Atlantic Ocean. The Bermuda Triangle is one place given over the UFO conspiracy theories. The large expanse of water extends roughly from the tip of the Florida out northeast to Bermuda and down to Puerto Rico. It is also the site of several unexplained ship and airplane disappearances over a decade, a phenomenon that's caused many an imagination to run wild. Now, for me, I understand why that could be on different lists because there has been planes that disappeared. Now, different theories will tell you. Some believe there's a portal, wormholes, or some say, it is a UFO alien abduction of these missing planes and all that. And why do certain things on planes stop working in this area? Now, of course, scientists and everybody comes out will say, well, electrical currents, this, blah, 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 blah. But the truth of the matter is that is an area in the ocean that has more phenomenon based around the world. But the question is, could they be UFOs, or they're nothing? It's in our heads, or wormholes. So Anthony, when you hear about the Bermuda Triangle being a hot spot for UFOs, what do you think?
I remember Flight 19, the 5 torpedo bomber squadron that flew from Florida, from Fort Lauderdale Naval Station. They flew through the Bermuda Triangle and they never came back. You remember that story?
I remember the Flight 19. Yeah. Not every single part of the story, but
that's the main story that I think of when you think of the Bermuda Triangle. And then there's a lot of stories where small, like Cessna pilots, like small prop plane pilots flying through, and then all of a sudden the clouds change. One guy told a story that the clouds started changing, the weather started getting really bad, and he went through what he believed to be a vortex in the sky, and time slowed down for him. All the devices in his aircraft slowed down. Everything around him seemed to slow down. His watch had stopped, and then he got to point A to point B with like 45 minutes to spare, which he couldn't understand how that even happened. So a lot of weird things happen at the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know what it is. Like you said, it could be a wormhole,
but what if
time displacement? Who knows?
Hey, Brown Dwarf, if somebody goes to you and say, maybe that's the portals are put there by the aliens, that's the way they come here. And, if they come here, maybe it opens up for a certain part of time. I don't know how long, for hours or days. And that's where ships are getting lost because maybe something's just coming in like traffic, opening up the wormhole. They're here. But I don't know how fast a wormhole was shut. There's no pure science to tell you how long, if a wormhole opens up, how long it could stay open until it shuts. What do you think of that theory, Brown Dwarf?
Yeah, I find it interesting. And then also you got obviously a big body of water, and something about water and disappearances, I've been looking into a lot, and you've been hearing a lot about. So yeah. And I've also heard, I don't know if it's true or not, I got to try it one day, but I heard if you stick a stick or something through on a globe through the Bermuda Triangle, that the stick will come out where the Devil's Triangle in Japan is.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if you gotta fact check me. It's just something I heard, and it'd be interesting to try.
Definitely.
God, I don't know how long ago, but I actually did a show on every single triangle that's supposed to be on this planet. And the Devil's Triangle was one of them. Because it is interesting that there are certain areas. I mean, you can call them hotspots. You can say they're squares, but, whatever. But there's so many hotspots than people think. And there's so many different kind of triangle areas than they think. There's one in Michigan, the Michigan Triangle.
Yeah, you got the Alaskan Triangle.
Alaska Triangle.
Alaska Triangle, that's right.
Bennington Triangle in Vermont. Eric, your old stomping ground, the Nevada Triangle, Fresno's part of that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you could go on and on.
And it's, in a weird way, I know people don't understand. I kind of miss Fresno. I miss my hometown.
Mhm.
All right, now we all know about the Stonehenge of Great Britain, but
Beautiful
according to
site.
this, the Stonehenge is one of Britain's great archaeological mysteries. Archaeologists have dated the site around 2500 BCE, when somehow ancient engineers moved huge saurian stones weighing up to 30 tons and a smaller blue stone around 2 to 5 tons into a circular formation aligned with the stars. Anybody wants to know, this article came out this year. So this is not a 2018, this is a 2022 article. The smallest. Now, if you look at that, I can see where that's coming from, because, I mean, we're talking way back then. How would people way back then move stones like that? Because we know if we try to do that now, that'd still be a problem, even with the equipment we do have now. But the question is, was this engineered by a life form that's not from this planet? What do
I
you
don't
think,
know.
Anthony?
I don't know where those stones even come from, because on that quarry, there are no stones that match that
Good
in
point.
that open field. So they had to be, I don't know, they had to be brought here from far away and then to be placed like that. If you could solve that, you could probably solve how they moved the megalithic stones for the pyramids as well. I don't know what kind of technology they were using. I don't know if they were using some kind of sound vibration to move them or what. But there was also that guy in Florida. I can't remember the name of the place, Coral Springs or something like that. He built this whole place out of stone, megalithic stones like that. And they said he did it by using a device, a small little box on top of these. He made like a triangle pyramid with a box on top, and he was able to move these megalithic stones with it. So I don't know how they did it, but I would really love to know. But the site here in Stonehenge is beautiful. In certain times of the year, you could see the sun in between the stones. I forget what they go. It's like a massive sundial, I think, is what that is. But every year they go there to worship. A bunch of people still to this day.
I think.
Yeah,
I
think.
Dwarf was reincarnated.
Excuse me, Eric.
Dwarf built it.
Excuse me, Eric. I was going to mention that just even looking at this right now, and I'm totally into megaliths as well. The theory of giants come to mind. We're hearing more and more about the giants, and getting into these old world structures. Some of these structures you see in their designs, like big archways and just certain things that I don't know, giants come to mind. And then just in antiquity, there's the stories of giants and stuff. So you got to throw that in there.
Now, that is an awesome you said that, because I remember I did a show with Connor Bigfoot Anon about giants being at one time being on this planet, and that would make sense if it's not engineered from outer space. If it was engineered here, a giant would make a lot more sense than regular humans doing it somehow. That's a good one. I forgot all about the giants. That's good. I still think, Brown, I think you're reincarnated. I think it was you in the past tense. You're the one who put the rocks together. I think you're probably creating dominoes, right? You're losing the rocks. We'll make a real life domino with rocks, and somehow most of the rocks got blown up. But giants is very interesting. But I wonder how big of a giant that would make that even easier possible. Because that's pretty heavy, even for a giant. I guess depending on how big was this giant. If
he would have to be massive. Massive, he would have to be, Eric.
Robert Ali wrote, maybe we humans are very small. How will we know? That's the question. How will we don't know. That's the question. It's very interesting. Well, let's see. What's number 8? All right. This is in Poland. Emslin, Poland, about 25 miles outside Lublin. The village of Emslin was too bad we don't have Andy on here, because this is This is all Andy's backyard. The village of Emerson was the site of an unusual occurrence in May of 1978. Jan Woliski, a local man in his 70s, was allegedly driving a car when he encountered a pair of ETs, being who took him to their spaceship, invited him aboard, and performed a harmless examination of his body. Whiskey's tale of an alien abduction captivated the imagination of everyone who fellow ufologists to documentary filmmakers to psychologists and even comic book artists. Now, I know you talked about this before on your channel, Anthony, but for people who maybe never heard of Jan Woliski, what do you know about this person?
What do I know?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember the story, to be honest with you, Eric. I remember we did a show on it, but I'd be lying to you if I tell you I remember everything that happened. I remember he got, he seen the craft. They took him aboard the craft. They did the experiments and all that stuff, but that's as far as I go with my memory on this. I did it a while back.
What about you, Brown Dwarf? You know anything about this guy?
No, never heard of him, and interesting.
Well, here, let me copy and paste his name. Let's see if I open up another Google, if anything comes up that's even more about this guy. Let's see. Here we go. Abduction. Let's see here. Only thing is, if I go present, he's actually on the Wikipedia. Abduction was alien. He was a farmer. There was little media attention at the time. Well, yeah, it was 1978. I mean, you know, you got to get lucky to be on a news channel, even in the first place. The craft, according to Whiskey, it was a purely white, unidentified flying object. So this one was purely white. It was height as long as a bus. It hovered in the air, attitude 14 after. I wonder if there's like an image, any images. Let me click on images here. And right, wow, they did make comics right here, huh? They really did make comics of this story. Interesting. I think the only way we're gonna solve this, Anthony,
that's the alien. See the little green alien there with the black hood? That's the being. He encountered like 5 of those little beings like that.
Right here?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna need to send us 3 to Poland to investigate this further.
See if you can hit play on that.
Oh.
Different language.
No. Yeah, but but it is interesting. I mean, it
was a good story. I just can't remember all the bits and pieces. I do so many stories in a month. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna need to send us over there. You know, we'll do our own little documentary story on this.
Yeah, I would love to go overseas and do a story. You know.
Yeah, they need to send people like us overseas. Let's see here. Let's go to number 7 here. According to this, Varginha, Brazil. Nestled, let me see, in the Brazilian state of Minas Gerais. Fuck, I can't say these fucking towns. You'll guy, forgive me. You'll find all sorts of unusual critters who call the Sierra do its physical biota reserve home. There are Maine wolves and woolly spiders, monkeys, and aliens. Back in 1996, UFO believers around the world perked up when a local resident claimed they found a dead ET in a field outside their home.
Mm-hmm. And I've been actually looking into this case lately.
Oh,
and it's
really?
It's pronounced Varginha.
That's it.
Yeah, very interesting. I actually been to Brazil a couple times and didn't see any UFOs, but I know it's a definite hotspot for everything. And I definitely want to go back and do some more uh, exploring and searching around in Brazil, and Latin America. Period. I know we're gonna hopefully get into that later, but yeah, this is an interesting case, and S4, you should definitely dive into this, man.
Oh, I'm familiar with it. What's his name? Just did the
Okay.
documentary on it. His documentary just came out. What the hell's the guy's name? Oh my god, I hate when my brain draws a blank.
And did they show the pictures? I ran into some
Yeah,
possible pictures of an
the
ET.
alien has the 3 corn rolls on his head. The 2 women in Brazil seeing the alien in the street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He just did the story on it. A famous ufologist. He's all over the internet
there?
again right now.
Okay.
That's the alien, yes.
And I actually seen some other photos. I'll send you that later, Anthony and Eric.
Trying to find the guy here for you because his name literally escapes my head right now.
Yeah, the photos that I seen, it was in it looked like a box, like a coffin.
James Fox. James Fox did the
Okay.
movie on this right now that's coming
Right.
out. He's
Right,
actually
right.
James Fox is actually going to be on UFO Man's channel December 10th of
Okay.
this year.
And if I'm
There's
not
James Fox, that's James Fox right there with the black t-shirt on.
Okay.
He just did the whole documentary. He went and interviewed the girls in Brazil that saw this creature and all the other people that seen this creature.
Yeah, I believe he spent a lot of time in
a lot
Brazil.
of time down there.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's
There's
interesting. Alien
mixed views on it, but could you imagine if true, if a creature from another planet crashed their craft, was stuck here, here on Earth, and ran into people? Like, what would happen? I mean, that would freak people out, probably seeing something like that.
Oh yeah, and there's several other cases out of Brazil that are pretty intense, and yeah, very interesting, man.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, just
Tiny little thing too. It wasn't big. I think it was under 5 feet, if I'm not mistaken. 4 foot something. This thing was skinny. It was terrified. It was like, see the picture there in the paper where it's cowering down in the corner. That's what they said. It was very afraid. It was more afraid of us than we were of it.
Wow.
But they never found it. They never found the creature. So.
Wow. See, I learn something every day. Some people ask why I do this show, because when I do a show, I get to learn. And I feel like if I'm doing something where I'm learning, hopefully everybody else is learning too, because not all of us know every story that's out there.
It's an old case though, Eric. That goes back to like 1996. And they're bringing it back up now. It took them all these years to get all the facts for the story before he made this documentary.
And that's the thing. A lot of these cases are old, but a lot of times we haven't heard of these old cases, or they just passed over these old cases. So it's nice to hear about these old cases, because then ourselves, if we're interested, now we could start investigating it more. Like we just heard Brown Dwarf saying he was actually looking into this case. That's what's cool about it. And then we get to learn a lot more about it. Now, this one...
Who found it, David Martin? I don't remember them ever finding this little alien. I remember 2 girls, they seen it in the street, but they never captured it.
Oh, yeah, somebody did wrote, huh? They found it.
Not to my recollection.
Here's one that says Thailand. Kao Kala. Sorry, I'm saying that all wrong, too. There have been reports of mysterious objects flying through the sky over Thailand since the late 1300s, but most recently, it's a hill called Kao Kala near Nakhon, Sawan, that becomes known as the Area 51 of Asia. So this is the Area 51 for Thailand. That's cool. In 2011, the Wall Street Journal reported an uptick in sightings. So many, in fact, that a statue of Buddha on Kulukala have become gathering point for dozens of believers. Certainly, they found a portal to another world. Those who flocked to Kala or whatever told CNN and other news outlets that they've been contacted by beings from Pluto. Pluto's having aliens, as well as mysterious planet somewhere in the Milky Way known as Luku. So, So this is Thailand's Area 51. Okay. Okay. I mean, I honestly never knew Thailand had their version of I'm sure every country has their Area 51.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So this must be just theirs. The brown dwarf. I mean, do you know anything about Thailand's Area 51?
No, I heard a lot about Thailand as far as it being a cool place to visit, but yeah, no, I had no idea about this. And as far as Asia, I know China gets a lot of UFO stuff. But no, I wasn't aware of the Area 51 of Thailand, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Your mileage may vary when it comes to alien encounters. Some think the increased UFO activity is more likely the result of more Thai families logging into the internet and watching TV shows about ETs in recent years. I don't know if it's, they always say that. It's always the same. Well, it's the TVs, they're seeing it more. Or I don't think that, because listen, there's been TV shows about aliens since the 1950s and 40s all over TV. I think there's just more of an outlet for people to come out with these stories, and they're finding more people that are willing to listen to you, where in the past everybody made you feel like you're a nut job for even talking about it. But now when you're with your groups of people who do believe in you, you are feeling more comfortable to come out with your stories and not feeling like everybody is, hitting you down with sticks and stuff, calling you a whack job. You're with people that are believers themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just going to increase more and more, not because of TV. Come on, TV's been there since the 40s and 50s, movies and all that, Independence Day. It's because more people are coming out with their stories, and you're feeling more comfortable now with your stories. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it TV?
Yeah, I think so yeah, I think what you were first saying is like they're blaming it on like mass hysteria possibly.
Yes.
And but at the same time, I guess I don't know if you would call it that, but I'm thinking about it and I'm like thinking, okay, yeah, if you do put it into the conscious of the people and us, I believe we create our reality. So planting those seeds of these things possibly being out there, or that they do exist, and having those, everything's being in, everything's inside of you, I believe. And so a lot of us are searching for things outside of us, but I believe everything is inside of us. And so believing in these things, or believing in these things, or subconsciously knowing of these things, do we manifest these things, and
That's a great question.
yeah. And so being on doing it on a mass scale, releasing stuff like this on, to the public, are we creating these things more and more? I just something I'm thinking about now, man.
No, yeah. Great question. Are we manifesting them? I'll tell you one thing, and I just like the story that we were talking about before this, in Brazil, right? With the alien, where they said that some people think they captured it. My thing is always, where's the proof? The military says they captured that thing. Mine is, all right, where's the proof? Where's the real photos? Where's the DNA samples? Where's the evidence, right? But then again, I had what happened to me when I was 13, where I saw those two crafts above me and I had missing time, and I don't have no proof. I can't explain what happened. I can't explain what those crafts were above me. I could draw them. I've had Ron make me 3D models of them because I'm obsessed with what happened to me, because I physically seen it. I know without a shadow of a doubt that it happened. And but you could talk to you blue in the face about it. Unless you have evidence, some people just are not going to believe, unfortunately.
Right. And I totally believe you, Anthony. And also, and I do believe there is terrestrial beings that we don't know about. I do believe there's extraterrestrial and interdimensional. We're all learning about this now, and I do believe in all that stuff. And I do believe some of these craft also are, more people are talking about that, are our own, possibly different countries, or our own country. And I do believe that as well. So, it's just
the big mixture of things.
Oh yeah, man.
You're right.
And let's not forget that technology is getting better. And what I mean by that is there's so many countries, even here, there's areas that don't get good internet yet. And with satellites getting better and better, with grants from governments expanding fibers more to certain areas, people are getting more connected. And when people get more connected, you're also going to have an increase of stories because now people got more ways to get out. Not every part, even in the United States, don't get internet yet. There's still poor internet services and all that. I mean, phones are getting better, but your phone's only as good as the cell sites they put out there. You go out in the country, there's less cell sites, there's less ways to get connected. But when more areas get connected, you're probably going to hear more stories from the people out in the country because they nothing against the city, but really out in the country, you're more out there in the woods, you're more out there in the sky, you are more there seeing something that's not weird. Correct. You know what I mean? Like I live by the airport. So when I see a lot of lights, I gotta like, okay, that's probably an airplane. That's probably an airplane. But you go out in the country, there ain't no airports and stuff. When they get lights,
Let me tell you something, Eric. I told Ron for months, I said to him, when you come out here by me, I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you that these things are flying around the beach by my house. I'm telling you, these things are over the ocean. I'm telling you. All right. He finally came down here. We stepped onto the beach. It had just gotten dark. I gave him the night vision camera. He looks up at the sky. I'm telling you, Eric, not even 5 minutes went by. And I just seen something and it stopped dead in the sky, he told me. He's like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Sometimes you have to bring people out here and just prove to them what's going on. You have to physically show them what you're seeing so they, and people got to start using these apps that cancel out planes and drones and satellites. That helps you out so much. When you cancel those things out and without a shadow of a doubt it's nothing man-made, well then, friends, you just answered your own question that we're not alone.
And like Justin's right here, Eric, mate, here we live. I live. Wi-Fi was invented, and we get shitty reception. Yeah, so I'm saying every area they still get shitty reception.
Yeah,
and let's go to number 5 here. Australia. Wow, Justin,
great spot.
Great spot. I did not plan to talk to Justin right there, knowing we're hitting Australia next. The world aligns. Whitecliff Well, Australia, a quirky small town in a remote rural northwestern territory near Alice Springs. Whitecliff Well has a whimsical claim to fame as a self-proposed UFO capital of Australia. Now, Justin, you got to let us know, is that really the UFO capital of Australia? The claims of ET sightings have been pouring in since the 1940s. That's on record. I'm sure we go even further back out there. And neither the flat, dark sky horizon, the presence of the Pine Gap U.S. satellite surveillance station, or the free-flowing roadhouse suds can quite explain them. Maybe it's all some clever roadside marketing by the local entrepreneur Lou Farkas, who doubled down on the destination's airy reputation by giving his hotel and restaurant the Roswell treatment, with murals of aliens and other references to the area's supernatural era. Or maybe this really is an intergalactic rest stop for flying saucers. Now, Justin, is this area known in Australia, the UFO capital, or is this just something that America is just making up about Australia? Well, he did write shithole. I've been there. It's a shithole, and it's not.
He shot. He shot his head.
See, this is what's great about having people in the chat that's from around the world. They could give us the really true insight where they're at. Is this just America propaganda trying to build up an area just because there's a restaurant built with aliens in it, and there's really not? So thank you, Justin, for that. But beyond that, Anthony, have you heard of hot spots in Australia? Is there like
man, Westall, the Westall UFO case when with the kids at the school.
Oh, with the kids seeing it, and the men in black like telling the teacher, if you go with your story, we're gonna tell them you're drunk and stuff to get you fired, and threatening him.
And that's where what's his name is from the psychic firefighter Adam Razowitz, Andrew Razowitz. That's where he's from, Australia, and his footage out there is incredible. He's got incredible UFO footage over Australia, man. Just
Wow.
I've seen things that he's shown me that are just mind bending, man.
That's a Melbourne. Tennant
Well,
Creek.
Westall,
Yeah, and Australia seems to have it all as
Westall's in
well.
Melbourne, yeah.
Um,
But it's Australia.
yeah, Australia has it all. It seems you got the 411 phenomenon happening down there as well. You got your UFOs, your Yowies. I seen a recent Dogman.
Too, Melbourne.
I don't know how recent it was, but I think it was pretty recent. A Dogman picture that made the news out there, I believe. So yeah, wild Australia.
Well, think about
I'd love to
the amount of landmass that's out there that don't have buildings and houses. I mean, there's plenty of places for these things to hide if they want to, they want to investigate the planet Earth. They could go to Australia because they've got like massive deserts that nobody is out there.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you be able to find everything out there? Unless you're what? You have satellites or you're Elon Musk and he can spy on everybody with this cute little satellites.
Do you think they know the differences though? These ETs, like, oh, we're in Australia, we're in New York, we're in New Zealand. I don't think they have a clue. I just think Earth is. They don't look at it like lines in different places like we do. It's just Earth to them.
Well, don't you think they would have a clue? And the reason I'm saying that is if they have the technology to come here, then they have the technology to know what's a safer landmass to hide from. Because
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't think they look at it like we look at it, like can't go to Mexico. There's a border wall there. We got to fly around the opposite. They don't look at it like that.
they don't give a shit.
It's just Earth to them. They don't differentiate Australia from New York. It's just one planet, one people to them. You know what I mean? As it should be to all of us. But we don't look at it like that because, like you said, we got walls and lines everywhere.
Yeah. And I think their technology is enough where we don't pick them up on every radar there is. I think they, if our radar picks up certain things, maybe they have certain kind of metals that we just can't pick up. I think they're flying around because we just can't pick them up. Let's see here. Now let's go
I'll tell you one thing that Australia still has. They have pieces of gold that are the size of small people still under the ground over there.
Yeah, we need some gold.
I need some gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I've got Nazca Lines, Peru.
Nazca
Mystery
Lines,
Shroud. Yeah. Sorry, people. I can't say these towns that good. I admit it. Mystery Shrouds, but I make up my own words for them, so we're fine.
I like
Shrouds, Nazca Lines in Peru. It's it's thought they were made by a pre-Inca civilization around 450 to 600 CE, who removed earth and the rocks from Nazca plains to create vast etchings of a spider, a hummingbird, and a monkey, among others. The lines can be easily seen at ground level, which makes them even more mysterious. Were they designed to attract aliens? Are they giant messages to life forms beyond Earth? If you hang around here, you will get to see a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the Nazca Lines, Eric?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, look. If you want, look them up because they're amazing. You're talking about petroglyphs in the dirt that are miles long. How they were able to construct it and just perfectly over miles, I'll never know. I know how they did it. They showed that they just moved the top layer of dirt back, and underneath was a white, chalky dirt that then, when it got wet, it stood like that forever. But how they were able to do it over, I don't know how many miles long these things are. They're massive, but the uniformity of it, incredible.
Okay. I just looked at the images. I have seen these images. I have. Let me pull it up.
Amazing.
It up. Yes, I've seen.
Yeah,
these.
there you go.
I have seen these.
I mean, and when the higher up, see, the thing is, you need to be high up in elevation to really respect them and see them perfectly. How they made them on the ground and knew that they were making them so uniformed and so perfect is beyond me. Because the only way you could tell they're perfect is from very high up, as like if you were in a plane or a helicopter or something.
DoorDash.
They got DoorDash delivery.
So they're made by DoorDash.
Incredible.
And Peru is just another one of those countries, man, that is just.
Is that fake? Is that real?
You could go.
Yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm. You could go deep, man, and all day. It's just so rich with all types of mysterious stuff. I love it. I'd love to go visit one day as well.
Yeah.
Justin says 3D stamp with our sun from the perspective of Orion. But they only moved back a couple inches of Earth and exposed that white chalky layer that was underneath. And once it got wet and dried, it's still like this for hundreds of years now. But just the pictographs are amazing.
Yeah, they really are.
I don't understand how they were able to do it and know, you know what I mean? Because they're so massive. How did they get the artwork so good being so over such a giant? You know what I'm saying, Brando? If you would have had to be high up in elevation to know you were doing it correctly. I don't know. It's wild.
And it kind of almost reminds me of what is it? The crop circles in a way.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool stuff, man.
Well, let's go to number 3. Huia Bosi, I can't say that, in Romania. In Romania claims to be the world's most haunted forest, but I've heard that it's the most haunted forest.
Ghost
Does it necessarily mean aliens are involved? The forest connection with UFO sighting goes back to the late 1960s when a biologist took photos of some unexplained lights over the forest. Soon after, a military technician snapped some shots of flying orbs and similar reports of flying objects over this area. In the 1970s, from strange feelings to missing children, mysterious voices, and paranormal events. The forest was a built reputation as a very spooky place indeed. Now, I've been saying, it's all connected. When people just want to drown their heads, UFOs want nothing to do with fucking paranormal. Paranormal want nothing to do with UFOs, or vice versa with Bigfoot. When you read this stuff, it's all connected somehow. And we just got to get our head of our asses to realize that it is connected. Well, you might be seeing a UFO than a ghost orb, or that orb you're seeing might not be a ghost. It could be a UFO. There's stories of aliens comes as orbs to investigate Earth as orbs. So you should want to know everything.
Agreed.
I still don't understand why people want to put their head in the asses. They don't want to crisscross. It's not cool to talk about different communities. There is no different communities. We should all be just one community.
That's right.
All open-minded.
Agreed.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Every donation helps the channel out. It really does. I want to thank you.
Rock.
Well, let's go down to the last 2 because I do want to get to Brown Dwarf's pictures of something from Mexico. So let's see I think we kind of know what the top 2 is going to be. I mean, regardless how we feel about it.
Yeah, number 1 is definitely Staten Island, right?
Number 2, E.T. Highway, Nevada. Actually, what they mean is the Paranormal Highway. Come on. We know what happens when 2 guys drive a car on the Paranormal Highway. They meet up with the Bigfoot. Then they get abducted.
Then a unicorn walks by.
And we even see Medusa. Things happen on the Paranormal Highway.
You sure do.
Okay, Nevada State Route 375 has been officially named ET Highway due to the number of reported sightings of strange lights in the night sky. The road runs primarily through the desert, adjustment to the Area 51. But let me tell you guys something. Let me ask you guys this. Is it the road, or is it because it's a desert? You can see more things in the sky because there's less pollution
Absolutely.
in the sky. away from airports and all that kind of stuff. It's more
100%.
clear to open your eyes to see more things. Is it more that you think, or
Yeah.
is aliens attracted to this area?
No, it's just, the desert, open. It's probably like a Bortle 3, which is no light pollution whatsoever. You get a clear shot to the stars, no smog, none of that stuff, because the desert conditions, just perfect weather conditions, I think, is what does it. People could see clearly, they can see everything clearly at night.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Pitch black.
I agree. I mean, if you go to Washington, except this year is kind of an odd year. We have more cloud cover versus we don't. So you don't get to see the skies as clear as you would. You go to the fucking Nevada, that beautiful open sky, no clouds in the sky.
Well, it doesn't hurt that Area 51 is there, right? So
now, Brown Dwarf, have you ever drove on that road 375?
I've been around the area, but I haven't driven on the actual road or been to the little alien.
Me neither.
Yeah, but I did. It's on the
I'm
bucket
going.
list. Let's go, man.
I'm going.
Hey, Discovery Channel, get off your asses. You should want us three here to travel that road.
That would be dynamite.
I mean,
I would really like pack a bag and go tomorrow. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. I'm with it too, man. And if they don't pick us up, man, I'm working on it, and something will happen, dude. It's gonna happen.
It's going down. That's all I know.
All right, number one, of course, for good reasons.
Roswell, yeah.
Good reasons for the popularity of the world, United States. Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell, near the site, alleged 1947 crash of an alien spaceship, is proud to be considered the UFO capital of the world. I mean, everybody knows the story. We don't have to go in too much because I want to show some pictures that Brown Dwarf sent me. But we still can't take the fact that, sometimes music, and I know Eric talk about music. Well, in music, certain bands they get criticized because they have a song that was popular, because they're not cool anymore because it's popular. But you can't take the fact that they make great music. Roswell, New Mexico, sometimes people poo-poo it because how popular it is on the pop culture. But the truth of the matter is, the story there is a real story about a crash. It just got picked up by every news media around the world. But you still have to ask yourself, well, if it was fake, why did the military go there? Why was there a press conference by the military, even blaming it on air balloons, weather balloons? Why would a military have to go that far? So something really, truly, in my belief, happened there. And it's going to be probably top 1, top 5, almost every chart out there, but for good reasons.
I believe the government definitely covered a lot up here. They made us think it was, first they put down that, a UFO crashed. Then they redact the story, say it's a weather balloon. I mean, they screwed up. They really did. You could see on Jesse Marcel's face, like, I can't believe they're making me do this, and I have no choice in the matter, I'm being outranked here. So something 100% happened.
Robert Alley, you are correct. Area 54 would be a great topic, and I do want to do a show on Area 54. Not today, because there is a lot of stuff about Area 54 that people don't know about. But so, Brown Dwarf, you think this is an overblown story, or you think people should talk about it?
Yeah, no, you got to talk about it. It's kind of reminds me. It's like the Patterson Gimlin situation in the UFO world. You gotta. It's just gonna be one of those cases that's gonna be ongoing, which is great, man. And to each their own opinion. But yeah, I agree with Anthony.
I agree too. All
Great
right.
story.
Now, for the last part of the show, I'm going to share. Where is it? What, Brown Dwarf? What is this about?
I have no idea. So check this out. I was recently visiting my family in Mexico, not too far. They're in a border town. It's called Mexicali. And my uncle has a pretty big ranch out there, and my aunt actually captured these photos here. And this was right, I think it was during there was a dust storm, and I had posted the dust storm because my dad sent me the video of this gnarly dust storm that had gone through, and I believe this was either before or after the dust storm. And she noticed the anomaly, and she knows I'm totally into this stuff, and she sent that over to me, and I decided to share that with S4. So not too far from here is a mountain range a couple hours away. That's called there's a town up in this mountain range called La Rumorosa.
Okay.
Rumorosa. And my dad also sent me a picture the other day of a billboard up in the town, and it's got two gray aliens, and it says welcome to the UFO World Capital, and it was like an advertisement for a UFO conference I guess they were having up there. And so that tripped me out. And my dad and I have, ever since a youth, we always watch the UFO shows, all the paranormal stuff.
Sure.
And and he was telling me about, because he grew up in that town, and he was telling me about this guy he knows in the town. It's a very, very small town. And this guy is, I guess you could describe him as like a shaman type, and that the gentleman could summons the UFOs. And I found that interesting. So I do want to head. I've been up there many times as a kid, and I want to go back now that I'm finding all this stuff out. I don't know if you're familiar with Jaime Maussan. He's a famous,
sure.
yeah. So he's talked about the area, and I've been digging more and more and finding out that there's a lot of activity up there.
Let me ask you, what time of day was this photo taken?
I would imagine midday, because in the first photo, that's kind of, I think that's zoomed in a bit, but in the first photo, you could kind of see the ranch, and it's daylight out, but obviously you could see it's cloudy, and like I said, it was a crazy dust storm, man. I could send you the video of that.
Oh, you have video?
Of the dust storm, yeah. I had posted it onto my TikTok, and so that was pretty crazy. But I didn't know that.
Yeah. I seen that on your TikTok. I seen that.
Right. So that was the same day.
Man. That's a triangular object in the sky. There's no. You know what it reminds me of? One of those fidget spinners. The design.
Yes.
That shape of it.
Oh yeah.
Boy, man, what a dynamite! I mean, she got lucky. I mean, but she seen that with her own two eyes, or she was just taking pictures.
Yeah,
of
no, they all seen it, and it's actually headed towards that mountain range. It's headed that way. So that's interesting as well. But
I don't know if you asked, but was it facing up like this and flying upward, or was it this way? And that's just the angle of the camera that we're seeing.
I didn't ask. Yeah, I didn't ask, but from what it looks like it's facing the way you showed the second time.
Yeah, like there. Straight up, right?
Well, no, it does look like that, but then I thought it was going flat, but who knows?
Yeah, because it looks like it's like this. But I think it's climbing an altitude, and it's just the angle the camera caught it on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's amazing, dude. Any sound or anything like that?
Not that I know of. I didn't really. It was kind of brief because it had been 15 years since I've been to visit my family there. So we were just busy catching up on
sure,
on a bunch of family stuff. But I know she has more pictures of other things, and I wanted to catch up with the paranormal stories. But it just got caught up with the family thing.
I love the fact that your family's tied in with the paranormal and the UFOs, and they're looking out for you, and they're taking pictures to give to you when you get there. That's so cool. I love that stuff. Reminds me of my parents now. I got them hooked too. Like every time my dad sees something, I get an email like, "Hey, check this out. Look what Dad got." That's so cool. Eric stepped away for a minute. He'll be right back. But this
no problem, man.
My picture, man. I wonder how big this object was. To be honest,
right?
It's hard to determine scale when you have nothing to. Nothing in the background to measure it to. But I mean, it looks big.
Oh yeah, and Mexico's well known for UFO.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think there's more UFO stories out of Mexico than people think there is. Because like we're talking about, I don't think everybody in Mexico has technology of the internet as good as we do. And if they did, I bet we even get more pictures and more stories out there.
Absolutely, Eric.
Sorry about that, guys. I had to step away because somebody was knocking at my door, and I got these doggy treats. And now, I mean, I'm being surrounded by animals.
Are you eating dog treats again, Eric? What did I tell you about doing that?
I got a cat right here thinking like, I want some of that treat. Where's my treat? All that. So, Brown Dwarf, I appreciate you sharing those pictures. And that's what's great thing about this community is how everybody shares with pictures and all that. And,
yeah, man.
You know, hey, there are a lot of people that don't want to share because they only want to show it just only on my channel. There is. You know, it's mine, but you're willing to share it and all that. And I want to say thank you for all that.
No problem, man. You know, anything I got, I'll send your way. And that's the first thing I did is send it over to S4. And
that he did.
That he got excited about it. And yeah, man, we're out here and doing our thing. And so stay tuned.
What are you headed to next?
I'm just headed over to the skate shop for now, but we're trying to get out. There's these tunnels. There's an underground. There's underground city or tunnel system under LA, man, and we're trying to find out where some of the entrances are. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And I don't know. There's a couple other spots we can check out. Paranormal spots.
Okay, this was put in my window.
Yeah, it's mine.
So what are we looking for here?
I captured one of the all black military helicopters over my house with no numbers on it, no military logos, no tail numbers, no nothing. Just all flat matte black.
Really?
It just flew.
Yeah.
It just flew through a chemtrail there too.
It flew right over the beach on an angle. Right. Look, no numbers on there, Eric. No military insignia. Nothing.
And because in the military, every helicopter's got the military symbol on there. You know, it's got the tags.
Yeah. Rewind it to where you see, like, put it right in the middle and pause it, and you'll see there's no numbers on this thing at all. There's no right there. Like, there's no identifying marks on this craft whatsoever.
What do you think it is? If you had a theory, what is your number one theory of what it is? What they're doing there? What are they doing? What do you think?
I'm convinced that the activity is so prevalent in my area that they're just around, because this has been going on for a couple months now. I've been telling certain people, you know, that the black helicopter's been flying over. The more UFO activity that's picking up on the island, I've been seeing them more over the beach. They're just over the beach. You don't see them anywhere. They just circle the ocean. So I don't know what's going on. I just think that the activity picked up, and now we're seeing these black helicopters. And people are always talking about the black helicopters in relation to UFOs. What's that?
Is this like a everyday occurrences?
Oh, this is going on 4 or 5 times a week. And they just circle the ocean, man. My patch of ocean.
And it doesn't matter what time of day they get to be out there any time of day. I'm just trying to see if there's a routine.
No, it's like I was telling Ron a couple of weeks ago, they were just over the water with the spotlight on, just hitting the whole ocean with the spotlight. So I don't know what they know or what you know. I don't know.
Stanton says I am seeing a big camera mounted
to the bottom right-hand side of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, it's sticking out the bottom right-hand side.
Yeah, I can see that too. I see. Thank Danny for.
Thanks, Danny.
And looking in the back.
In the tail.
You see something sticking out too.
Yeah, that's the wheel for when it lands. The bounce wheel. Okay. Yeah. But he's right about the camera. All these things do a fly around, and there's another one that comes around. There's a couple of them. There's another black one, all black like that, with a huge spotlight on the front and a huge spotlight on the side. And it just flies around the water, just lights up the ocean. They fly around for a bit, and then they're gone. Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Have you in the middle of the ocean? I don't know if you have a boat or anybody has a boat.
Yeah, I do.
You and Ron should take some of your stuff that you do on a paranormal research and do it out there and
out on the water.
If you picked up electricity or something that's out there, because there should be no electricity out there in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah,
but maybe or take your the one you see heat. I forgot what you
But,
name on
but
that.
you're a thermal. You're a military guy,
Yeah.
Eric. You know that there should be a tail number on that
Oh,
craft. 100%.
there's not one helicopter in the Coast Guard that's not white and red. There is no black in the
There's no
Coast Guard.
black military helicopters, and
There's no.
there's no insignia on it. Army, Navy, the
And,
Marines. They got like a charcoal gray color, light color gray helicopter. The Navy too. The Army's green. The
and
Air Force could be blue or green. I mean, there's no black.
I can't. I
Flat
don't know
black.
all the
Flat
laws
black.
on every single state. I don't know all the laws, but anything that goes in the air, like in Washington, has to have something on there so they know
Identifying
why you're
mark.
out there. You got to be able to be identified. Otherwise, they'll shoot you down. If you're
And
an
Ron
unidentified object.
noticed something when we were watching this before we released it. The helicopter does have an FAA light, but it's not the normal FAA flash pattern. It's in the very back section of the craft underneath the hull. It just pulses once every couple seconds. It's a single pulse every couple
Maybe
seconds.
do
It's
some
one
diving.
pulse. It has
Danny,
the regular FAA light.
do some diving. I mean, to do some diving, it's more involved than a lot of people think when diving because even the Coast Guard, you got to learn how to dive. You got to dive in the ocean. You're there to save people's lives. When you're in the ocean, you can't see as well as you think you can see. I mean, you would have to have a lot of equipment to make diving. To find proof and stuff that's in the water, you got to have a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment. And because that's a big fucking dark ocean. I'm sure where you're at, Anthony, I'm sure that is not very lighted out there, right? I'm sure
No,
that's
it's dark.
dark.
Yeah, but I don't know what this helicopter is looking for or what. I just never seen a black helicopter before. I've heard about them, but now I've seen it.
Oh, is it the helicopter in that old TV show from the 80s, Airwolf? Wasn't that all black?
I'm talking about in operation for
I
real.
know. You don't even see black airplanes. There's always something on there.
I just thought it was so weird when I finally encountered it, and now to see it more and more, it's just cool.
Wow. Have you ever tried I know it's hard because how fast they go. Try to follow one to see.
I'll hit him with the laser pointer one night. I'll see if I get him to land. Like, my eyes, we gotta land.
What is this here? Danny wrote, when I worked for Black Knight Private Security, we always traveled in unmarked black choppers for security purposes. No one knew who was in it, ambassador and such. Well, you're right. Okay. What you're saying there is if it is security, but the thing is, you're seeing it 4 or 5 times a week, so that's a lot of security.
It's been around the water, on the water. We're talking about circling the water. You know what I mean? That's strange. That's odd.
Yeah, eyes wide open. Don't you remember the TV show Airwolf? How the guy got the most advanced helicopter?
We know about TV shows. We're talking about in real world. Though,
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
In the real world,
when did you ever see a real world aircraft with no numbers on it?
Well, nobody can have a helicopter that can't be found. If this is a helicopter, something's going on, and they don't want nobody to know what they're doing. Basically,
Justin, I don't think you're getting it, Maynard. There's no numbers on the craft to identify it. You understand? It's the law. There has to be tail numbers on it. That's the point. We're not saying they're chasing aliens or anything like that. We're just saying it's weird that there's an all black helicopter with no identifying marks on it.
And how much you're seeing this? Have you ever seen pairs, or is it just one?
No, just single.
Just a single one. That is very interesting. Well, guys, that's about the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for showing up. And Brown Dwarf, I want to thank you for explaining to us about those pictures that you sent. It's always fun having you on the show and hearing your opinion of these things. Because once I hope today people realize, man, there's hotspots all around the world. Almost every country in the world has their Area 51. There's so much to learn, so much. It's like sometimes you don't even know where to start, And I hope you guys get inspired to start looking up yourselves. Hope you guys listen to Anthony and Brown Dwarf, get inspired that, you know what? They're looking. I can look too. There's no reason why we all can't look up or open your ears and listen, because there's some things around us that we can't explain. And that's why we're here together, because we all know, I said it before, the news ain't going to tell us the truth. Nobody's going to tell us the truth. The truth is going to come within us, our level.
It's 11:11, and I want to thank you guys. Y'all guys have a blessed day. Everyone out in chat too, YouTube world. Stay blessed.
So beyond that, I'll see everybody. I forgot. Tomorrow, I have an appointment at 9:30, so I can't do my normal show at 10 o'clock tomorrow, but I will do one tomorrow, but it's going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So it is going to be later than usual, but it will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, because I got these goddamn doctors, you know.
Yeah, you ran out of the little blue pill again, didn't you?
They ain't going to do absolutely nothing for me, but I still have I have to go.
He ran out of Viagra. That's the problem.
Yes. You know, hey, you know, you get a little older, you know. I'm not ashamed to say you might need a little help, because you don't want the whole act to die. So whatever you can do to help yourself within that act, you got to do it. Beyond that, guys, we'll see everybody later.